Okay, so I finally watched Spider-Man Brand New Day, and I've noticed that I haven't really done a lot of Marvel content on the channel. I've probably done like one short of it, and that's it. But I watched the movie, and I gotta say, it's a good movie to watch. It's like a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. I'll be honest, the movie didn't exactly go the way I expected it to. Like things were a lot more different this time, but morely in a good way than a bad way. Like there's some things I want to talk about. Some things that were shocking, some things that were not. Now, first of all, I want to talk about the post credit scene. I completely missed that out somehow. Despite me waiting for when the movie ends, there's like a small credit scene or like a small montage or something like that. I sat throughout that, and yet there was no post credit scene at all. And then I got spoiled. Well, I not spoiled, but like I saw it on Instagram that there was a post credit scene for the movie, and it showed that there was another Spider-Man from a completely different planet, which didn't exactly make sense at all. I don't. Well, in other words, there was a Spider-Man tracker. You guys have watched the movie, so I'm sure you guys know what the Spider Tracker is. But there was one on another planet, which was super confusing. I didn't understand it, and I still don't understand it, but I guess the next time we're gonna see his Tom Holland Spider-Man, it's gonna be in Secret Wars, I think, unless Spider-Man 5 somehow releases first and Secret Wars gets delayed. So, anyways, that let's just focus on the main plot of it, or not the main plot, but like the main points I want to talk about. So, you know what, the Florence Pugh and Tom Holland scene, there was a whole entire joke of it that they were let's just say they weren't going to be wearing anything at all, and I thought that was a joke at first, but in the movie it was real. And when I was there, I had nothing in my mind except for
I like it in here.
like I'm just kidding about that, but I really did like how the side characters like Punisher and what was her name, Yelena, were they were properly utilized. Like they weren't just cameo fest; they were like actually part of the story as well. I mean, some cameos are obviously part of the story as well sometimes, but it was like they were more involved, so that's what makes it good as well. Speaking of the Punisher, I do not like how they kind of wrote him around the final act, because he was literally just gonna shoot Jean Grey, and Jean Grey is like probably no older than Spider-Man himself, which was honestly, it doesn't really seem like a Punisher type of thing to do. Like I know his whole motive is just killing enemies, and just putting them down, but like Jean Grey was like how old? I mean, probably like in her mid, no, lower 20s, maybe like 18, 19. She was pretty young, and Punisher was about to shoot her, but Spider-Man got in the way. I did not like that at all. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know too much about Punisher, but I know a bit of Punisher. Like I've watched the series. I watched One Last Kill. I've even watched Daredevil. I feel like Punisher wouldn't exactly go that far to shoot Jean Grey, even though she caused a lot of destruction or something. But yeah, I mean, you get the idea. And honestly, Sadie Singh playing Jean Grey was a very expected thing, according to many other people, which I guess it makes sense in the end. I mean, and it wasn't actually surprising in the end. And the thing is, when I went to watch it and it got revealed that it was Jean Grey, everyone in the theater was just silent. So this is the most disappointing thing about watching movies a couple days later. You always gotta just watch it on the first day, and people are gonna be hyped like anything. Otherwise, if you watch it the next few days later, it's gonna be full of people who don't understand anything about any type of movie. I mean, the same type of experience somewhat happened with Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and 2, except for 2, I was actually there like on the very first screening. So it was just completely fun. Everyone was shouting, everyone understood everything. Everything was good there. So that's kind of like, if you're gonna watch a movie and you want there to be a lot of hype, just watch the first ever screening in your cinema. Speaking of which, unfortunately, when I was watching the movie, the cinema quality in which I was watching, was completely horrible. Like if you want to know what it looks like, the whole entire movie looked dark, almost like this. Yeah, that is just how bad it was. So everything bright, everything that should have been bright, it was like completely dark. And if it's 3D, it's just way darker, and that is super discomforting. I've gone way off track here, so I'm just gonna try and talk more about the movie instead. So okay, there is a couple of things I wanted to talk about, like the Hulk. It made sense at first what was his name? Like Friendly Hulk? I don't remember what was his name. What was his name? But the Hulk from Avengers Endgame, he came back, and somehow they managed to make him scarier, despite him being the friendly version of the Hulk. And I really do like how they made it so that Hulk didn't just magically appear when Jean Grey decided to take that inhibitor thing off of Bruce Banner, and instead of just directly transforming into Hulk, he went through one stage and then something in his mind broke and the Hulk came back again. That was a good thing. It was really good that they didn't just the crack him open just like that. If that term makes any sense, I don't know the correct term for it, but that's the first thing that came to mind. And I am so glad that the Hulk didn't lose against Spider-Man, because honestly, the Hulk hasn't won a fight since Thor Ragnarok or Infinity War. It's one of those. And the only way, obviously, how Spider-Man survived was he was trying to make the Hulk feel bad, which was good. I would rather have seen the Hulk feel bad for trying to hurt someone instead of the Hulk actually losing to someone who is like not even as strong as him, because that would be annoying as well, to be honest. And so throughout the movie, or in the end of the movie, apparently Spider-Man now has organic stuff now. Like he moves kind of like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man now, or I don't know if in the comics he uses the mechanical one, like the mechanical web shooters, or if he uses organic webbing. If he does use organic webbing in the comics, then they're doing it right. But if the comics don't have that, I still don't mind it. I mean, at that point, Tom Holland Spider-Man just gets more powerful, so yeah, that's good. Honestly, though, I really wish that we could have seen more of Tombstone and who else? No, it was just Tombstone. I assumed for a moment that Tombstone was gonna have a bigger part within the movie than I thought he would, but he didn't really have that big of a part in the movie. He was just confirm. He was just like a cameo or something, which I didn't exactly like, to be honest. I would rather he had been a part of the story instead of him being the complete opposite, instead of him just being like a minute cameo or something. I think it was like a minute or something. He was just there. And now in the end, I don't exactly know if introducing Jean Grey within a Spider-Man movie was exactly the best choice. I mean, I feel like maybe she could have been a villain for the X-Men, for the new X-Men film that's coming, because I heard that there is one. So maybe she could have been maybe she could have been the villain for that, and then Charles just decides to take her in, and then everything just gets sorted out. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I don't exactly know. Like I have mixed feelings about the character, like how she was handled within the movie. Like I feel like it was good, but I'm also kind of confused about it as well. Like it's good, but maybe they should have done it another way. So well, apparently the MCU has their Jean Grey now, so it's just and their Emma Frost as well. She got her actor, so that's good as well. But kind of, I don't know, man. I feel like maybe Jean Grey should have been introduced within another project, and someone else should have been the villain. I'm not exactly sure though. But speaking of characters, I really hoped that Daredevil was going to appear for a while, but unfortunately that never happened. So, I was a little disappointed there, because, we didn't have any cameos, but, I guess this is the problem with Marvel. They had been introducing cameos for a very long time, and that kind of changed. Well, I wouldn't say changed everything, but, well, okay, no, it kind of did change everything, especially for how other movies work. Like, because then they expect cameos as well whenever there's a sequel or anything. But I mean, for this case, considering the hand was there, I feel like Daredevil could have appeared, but what it yeah, I don't exactly understand how the Punisher was able to appear, but not Daredevil. That part really confused me. Like because they're in the same. I mean, they have crossed paths quite a lot of times. So what's different about Daredevil? I mean, Spider-Man doesn't have to be in Daredevil Born Again, but Daredevil. I mean, Daredevil could be in Spider-Man. Now I know that Daredevil is in prison by the end of season two, but I thought that when Spider-Man was fighting the Hand in prison that it was gonna be the same prison that Daredevil was being held at, but it was a completely different one. And I think the cities are different as well, if I'm not wrong. So I guess in some way it's kind of understandable that he wasn't there, but for some reason I was just expecting that maybe someone else we knew was going to be there, but didn't appear there at all. So that's a little disappointing. But you know what? It was still a great movie overall, which I feel like a lot of people will have enjoyed and will enjoy. And I don't know if there's anyone who's not watched it and is watching this review. But if you are, I would have just recommended you watch the movie straight up instead of just watching a whole spoiler review, because I'd say it's worth it. To be honest, I liked it as much as I like Supergirl, and I'm not. Then no, Supergirl wasn't a bad movie. Okay, I loved it. I enjoyed it, and that was a good movie as well. Both movies are good. I think we can all agree on that. But I feel like there are obviously those type of people that will not agree in the end. So yeah, anyways, a solid 8 or maybe 9 out of 10. I don't remember if I gave Supergirl the same rating, but I would say they're both around the same level of enjoyment to me. So that's actually not that bad. But anyways, yeah, that was my review for Spider-Man Brand New Day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.